Okay, let's be real for a second. The word grammar, does it make you kind of tense up? For a lot of us, it does. It brings back all these memories of red pen marks on our papers, confusing rules, and just that awful feeling that you're never, ever going to get it right. But here's a thought. What if the fear is the actual problem, and not the grammar itself? Today, we're going to look at how to completely change our relationship with grammar and turn it from something you fear into a tool you can actually use.
You know the feeling, right? You have to send this really important email, maybe to a new client or even your boss, and you write it, then you delete it, then you rewrite it, and you end up spending way more time stressing about commas and prepositions than you do about the actual point you're trying to make. That feeling? That high-stakes pressure where one tiny mistake feels like the end of the world? That is a classic sign of grammar fear.
And hey, if you feel like that, you are definitely not alone. I mean, this comment from a Reddit forum just nails the frustration so many people feel. It's like you're being asked to build this super complicated engine, but the instruction manual is in a language you don't even understand. But this feeling, it's more than just being frustrated. It actually has a name.
That's right. This isn't just you not liking grammar. It's a real thing called grammar anxiety, and it's a known psychological barrier that gets in the way of learning. Researchers have actually studied this. They've figured out how to measure it, and they've identified what causes it.
So the official definition calls it an unpleasant affective state, which is a fancy way of saying it's a bad feeling that literally stops your brain from learning effectively. When you feel anxious, your body is flooded with stress hormones, and that can actually block the pathways in your brain that handle memory and learning. So this has nothing to do with how smart you are. It's an emotional reaction that just slams the door shut on new information. The point is, this feeling is real, and it has real effects.
So, where does all this anxiety even come from? Well, a big study that actually created a scale to measure grammar anxiety found that it usually comes from three main places. Let's break those down. The first cause is really about how grammar is often taught. With a huge focus on memorizing abstract rules, on getting everything right versus wrong, and on stressful tests. This just completely overloads your brain. When you're trying to juggle like 10 different rules just to say one sentence, your brain just goes nope and shuts down. It turns language from a way to connect with people into a minefield of potential mistakes.
And this quote from that same study, wow, it really shows you the result of that kind of teaching, doesn't it? It's that feeling of being stuck in these old, unhelpful habits that have built up more fear than fluency. It's really hard to move forward when your past learning experiences built walls instead of bridges.
The second cause is all internal. It's about what we believe about ourselves. Things like perfectionism, that idea that every single sentence has to be perfect, or just this deep down belief that we're just not good at languages.
And this quote, this gets right to the heart of it. That fear of failure can be absolutely paralyzing. It stops us from even trying, from speaking up, and from making the very mistakes that we need to make in order to grow. It becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy. You're so afraid of failing that you don't try, and then you don't learn.
And finally, our own personal history really matters. Just one bad experience, a teacher who was too critical, being embarrassed in front of the class, or always feeling like you're behind everyone else. That can create a lasting emotional scar that connects grammar with anxiety.
You can just feel the weight of all that past experience in a statement like this one. When learning anything feels like a nightmare, our natural human response is to avoid it at all costs. This isn't a lack of discipline. It's a totally understandable emotional reaction to something that's been painful in the past.
Now, to make things even worse, learners are bombarded with confusing and conflicting advice. This just leads to paralysis, because you're left wondering, which way is the right way? And that whole debate pretty much boils down to one big question.
Should you learn a ton of vocabulary first, or should you master all the grammar rules first? And both sides make some really good points. The vocab first team says, hey, you can't say anything without words. But then the grammar first team says, well, words are just a meaningless jumble without some structure. This whole debate just adds to the confusion and makes it really hard to figure out where you should even start.
Okay, so we've figured out that grammar anxiety is a real thing, we know where it comes from, and we see why it's also confusing. Now for the good stuff. Let's get into some real, actionable strategies you can use to fight back and put communication, not perfection, right at the center of your learning journey.
The good news is there are 5 clear, totally manageable steps you can take to change your entire relationship with grammar. And these aren't just random tips. They're strategies that are designed to lower your anxiety and help you build some real, lasting confidence. First things first, stop trying to do everything at once.
A huge goal like become fluent is just a recipe for anxiety. Instead, you've got to break it down. A goal like learn 5 new phrases from my team meeting on Friday, that's specific and it's achievable. And every time you hit one of these little goals, your brain gets a small reward, which creates this positive cycle that builds your confidence and fights off the anxiety.
Okay, this one is huge. You have to give yourself permission to make mistakes. It's not just okay, it's essential. Think of mistakes not as failures, but as data. They're just little signposts showing you what you need to work on next. Remember that important email? An email that gets sent with one tiny grammar mistake is infinitely better and more effective than a perfect email that you're too scared to ever send.
So, to cut right through that whole debate we talked about earlier, here's the answer. Start with vocabulary. Why? Because you can communicate your message with the right words even if your grammar is a little shaky. If you say, yesterday I go meeting, it's not perfect grammar, but I know exactly what you mean. But if you have perfect grammar and you don't know the word for meeting, you can't communicate at all. Building your word bank is the fastest way to start communicating.
Remember how we said one of the roots of anxiety is a fear of being judged? Well, the best cure for that is a supportive community. Find a study partner, join a conversation group, find a safe space where you can practice and not worry about being perfect. We are social creatures. Getting encouragement from other learners can completely cancel out the negative effects of stress and make learning way more effective and, honestly, way more fun.
And finally, please stop trying to memorize abstract grammar rules from a list. It's just not how our brains work, and it's a huge source of anxiety. Instead, learn in context. Your brain doesn't store words like a dictionary, it stores them in a giant web of connections. So when you learn a new phrase from a real article or a conversation you overheard, you're building a much stronger connection, making it so much easier and more automatic to use later.
Hey, remember that super academic paper about grammar anxiety? Well, this is a diagram from it. It's a lot, right? It looks incredibly complicated. But here is the most important point of the entire day. You do not need to know what a single part of this diagram means to order a coffee, to lead a meeting, or to connect with someone in English. This is theory. Your goal is communication.
So, the big takeaway here is all about a fundamental shift in your mindset. Grammar is not a test of your intelligence. It's not a set of traps designed to catch you making a mistake. It is simply a tool, like a hammer or a screwdriver that helps you build clearer, more effective communication. That's it.
So let go of that need to be perfect. Embrace the messy process of learning and focus on the message, the thing you actually want to share with the world. With this new mindset, you'll find that the fear starts to fade, and that's when the real learning can finally begin. The only question left is, what do you want to say?